So this is another paid video, and an email I received from Mr. David. So it reads, "Hi, Ikenna, I do see your post on Nairaland concerning Lion cars. You are a genius on all problems of Peugeot cars. Kudos to you, sir. Please, I want to know much about Peugeot 207 automatic. I intend to buy it before September. First, is it a good car? Then second, does it economize fuel? Then, okay, I didn't see the third question there. Then four, is parts available? Is the parts available in case of replacement? Number five, does it have a second-hand value? Number six, please, how much do you think a neatly used one can cost? And also the direct version. I'll be happy if I hear from you. Thank you, sir. Okay, so I'll start by saying answering the first question. Okay, the first question, yes. Is it a good car? Yes, Peugeot 207 is a good car. Just like every other Peugeot car, but then, they have their shortcomings and their positives as well. They have, since you're in Nigeria, I always recommend the ones with petrol engines. So they have issues here and there. So I'm going to limit it, like I said, to petrol engines. However, there are some petrol engines that I will highly recommend than the others. Okay, so which will lead us to the second question, which is does it economize fuel? Okay, so I will start from the engine before we talk about okay, let's see, let me start from here. Okay, so this is one of the petrol engines you find in Peugeot 207. This one is this engine model is TU3A. It's a common engine you find in Peugeot 206. Though most of the ones in 206 are TU3JP. This is TU3A, more like an improved version of it. Basically same engine anyway, one or two other small changes. So this one is a 1.4 liter engine with how many horsepower? I've forgotten. I know I'm between 75 to, I've forgotten. It's around that side. And but then he said you want automatic, because this one, from my understanding, comes only with a manual. It's possible there's an automatic one, but it's more like the most common, or the ones you see on the road mostly will be manual. So so TU3J, TU3J, TU3A is the one. Moving on. Now this is another one. This is what's it called? Petrol engine. This is a 1.6 liter, which is a VT. This is an EP6 engine, but the specific model number is VTI 120. So it uses timing chain, unlike the other one, and it's 1.6. The horsepower is 120 horsepower. Personally, I wouldn't recommend if you're buying a Peugeot 207, try and avoid the early models, especially the ones they did, I think from 2007 to maybe like 2010 or so. I will avoid them. Those particular productions, with this engine, They suffer quite a number of issues. The timing chain tensioner, the camshaft. That's, I don't know how to mention it here. The VVT solenoid, yeah, but then at least they're available. You can always buy. They do fail. They have two, on the one on the camshaft, while the second one is on the intake side. No, what I mean is one is monitoring the exhaust camshaft on the rear part of the engine, rear side of the engine, while the other solenoid is monitoring the intake camshaft on the catalytic side of the engine. So they do fail, but they're available. But I'm more concerned with what is inside. So I would rather you get the one from 2010 upward. I don't know when did they even stop producing 207? Is it 2012 or thereabout? So so if you are buying the 2007 or 2008 model or thereabout, and you come across the one with this VTI 120 engine, I would highly recommend you avoid, unless the previous user have already done some of those uh, replacement on the engine that were causing those issues, or probably they replace the engine with the newer improved one. So moving on. Now, these are also another petrol engine in 207. This is an EP6 engine, just like the other one, but this is like the turbocharged version of the EP6. So it also uses timing chain and the rest. It also suffers some of those issues that VTI 120 had. The only difference, this one has more power, stuff like that. So I think 156. And the sports version is about is it 165 or 170 horsepower, something like that. Forgotten. So I also avoid the early productions, 2007, thereabout. Just avoid anyone done to 2010. If you are buying if you prefer the turbocharged one, petrol turbocharged one, just avoid anyone done before 2010 also. Um, Unless it has been fixed. Now, when I'm telling you avoid, it doesn't mean those things cannot be fixed if you eventually end up buying them. But then expect some of these things I mentioned, they might come up or may not. But like I say, if they've been fixed, the previous users have fixed them, or probably have even replaced the engine, then you probably will not even experience that. So or you could buy, the issue comes off, you fix it, or worst case, you replace the engine. So now this is TU5. This is another petrol engine, and it's also a 1.6 liter engine. So this is TU5 JP4, and you find in 207 as well. So so this one is I think 206 plus also. But you find it in 207 as well. But they are not that much common. You will see them that much in Peugeot 207, especially you find them, I think, mostly in the early 207. So now, of all these engines, four engines that I mentioned, I strongly recommend this particular one, the TU3A, which is the easiest way to identify, or if you are searching for one, is probably, if you are searching for one locally in Nigeria, is to tell them you are looking for one with Peugeot 206 1.4 liter engine. Just tell them that. They may not understand the model name like TU3A. They won't understand that. Just tell them you are looking for one with Peugeot 206 engine, the 1.4 liter in Peugeot 206. You want the 207 with that engine. Make it easier there. So one, this is one engine I strongly recommend for 207. And then this is the second one, TU5JP4. But like I said, this one is gonna be difficult. You won't really, if you have the patience and have your belief and faith, strongly have the conviction that you get it, you will. But you may end up importing it. However, be careful. Most of them you find in Nigeria with this engine actually did not come with it originally. They came with either this particular the EPCs, this is turbocharged version, or they came with the non-turbocharged version of this, the ones I told you that has some issues in their early productions. So these engines, at that time they were calling them Prince engines. These two EPCs. So this one, most of them they've converted it to this from EPCs to this TU5JP4. But then most of the times the conversions are not properly done, and the owners will feel frustrated and sell them off. So you have to be careful if you are looking for one with this engine. Make sure it has that is from new. That's they did it from new, or simply look for this one if you can. But then this other, like this one, you can get it automatic. THP, yes, you can also get it automatic and manual. This one too, you can get it automatic or manual, but this one you can only get it in manual, I think. From what I, unless I will check again to be sure, but I think they only come in manual. The 1.4 liter. You know. Okay, so back to your question. So it says now in terms of fuel economy, which what actually led me to checking off the engines. This one consume the least, the TU3A, the 1.4 liter one. You consume the least. Like I say, it also comes in manual. So remember, this is the one that consumes the least fuel you can ever think of in 207. At least from my understanding, and I've driven quite a number of them, so I can tell. So followed by this one. After this, followed by this EPC's engine, the one that is not turbocharged. So if you are ready to deal with some of the issues like comes with, fine. The fuel consumption is quite interesting. In other words, what I would say is, apart from the fuel consumption, these two EPCs engine, I would say the maintenance cost is much higher than these other two. Let's just leave it at that. Because not like the other two issues, there are issues that will not be coming up once in a while. Like the TU5JP4, the ignition coil do fail. This particular one that I find in 307 most time. So it's just that the maintenance cost is much higher. So if you are looking at low, the one with the lowest cost of maintenance. So the fuel consumption of this one is in terms of low. This calls first, followed by this one second, then followed by this one the third, the TU5JP4. If you want this one, the one I tell you that it's not that easy to find. What you tell them is you're looking for 207 with 1.6 liter engine that is into, 207 with 307 engine. Just tell them like that you're looking for Peugeot 207 with the 1.6 liter in 307, because this engine is more common in 307 than other Peugeot cars. Okay, so then after this TU5, which is the third, it scores third on the low fuel consumption, then followed by this one, the turbocharged one. Of course, it consumes more because it has the highest power among these four engines. Okay, all right. So now we've done your third question. The fourth, I don't even know which one is third or fourth. I think you missed the third question. So I've answered your second question. The fourth one, the parts available in case of replacement. I would say the one that it still comes back to the cost of maintenance. This one, the parts is very much available. The TU5JP4. This one, it is, but not that much. There are some things that, I would say you spend more. The parts are available, but you spend more. Yes. So, this one, the parts is also available, right? Um, even though some people claim it costs more, or some of the parts, like the clutch kit, is not the same with the TU3PP, so to cost you more, or you may not be able to get this new one or something like that. So, in other words, if I look at this is the one with the parts that are the cheapest among them. Yeah. So, um, this one too, I think I still consider this cheap as well. If not, probably the cheapest. See, the parts are available, period. Only that this one and this one are the cheapest among the four engines. So they are available, new and used, fake, original, whatever you want to call it. Okay, does it have a second-hand value? Well, I I wouldn't know. Some of these things, I don't know. Does it have a second-hand value like Peugeot 206? No, it doesn't. If that's where you're coming from. People that want 207 want 207. So if you are buying a car, so that let me put it in a very simple way, self. If you are buying a car just to so that you get your money back, exactly what you spent in buying the car, you get it back when you want to resell. And then I don't think you actually enjoy buying Peugeot cars. That's just the simple truth. Yeah, so Peugeot cars may have a resale value more than the others, but then generally Peugeot cars, especially over this part of the world, people who are into it are not into it because of the resale value. We don't like people. Someone like me, I don't give a rip about how much a car that I'm buying to enjoy, and I'm buying to that tomorrow I will even buy another one. I'm not buying like, oh, if I don't sell this car, I won't be able to buy another one. That's my, as in, it's my conviction, and it has always been working out for me. I buy cars that is a car I can actually, even if I say, okay, maybe this car I can dash it out. That's my conviction. Knowing that I know that I can afford to buy another one. Whether the money is right here in front of me, I know. So I don't have that. I don't know how to put it. I don't have that limited mindset that without this thing, I can't be able to afford another car if I cannot be able to sell this thing. You limit yourself. It's like for the Christians, you are telling your God, see, I will never grow. Keep me where I am. Because without this thing, I can never progress where I am. So I'm causing myself to stay where I am. So that's why I don't look at that thing. And I'm actually advising you to avoid that mindset. It will help you to grow, to be honest, financially. If you're looking at resale value, I want something I can buy and resell immediately so I can get something same amount. What you're not saying is, so what people that are spending millions or buy brand new car, so you never picture yourself that you will ever be there. That you keep buying only some. So come on, don't go there. But if that's actually your concern, I think our advice, Peugeot may not be the best place or best brand for you. If that's, maybe you could try Japanese because that's what most people prefer. So those ones, yeah, you could say they have higher resale value. Few Peugeot cars have, because of the demand in this part of the country, like in the northern part of the country, you have cars like Peugeot 307, Peugeot 406, yeah, they have higher resale value. So if you are going for even 206 also have higher resale value. That's why I say when you compare 207 and 206, yeah, 206 has higher resale value. Other cars tend to have higher resale value compared to newer ones, especially most because Nigerians are usually scared of newer cars because they believe It could have electrical problems or issues that have not been uh, mechanics have not been familiarized with, or mechanics have not been familiar with the system, so they won't be able to fix them. So I know this particular question is taking more time than the other, but I really want to point it out. So you may do yourself a favor to avoid Pojo completely if you are looking at resale value. It's as simple as that. Just look for another car. That's the best answer. For that question, I'm just being straight and honest on this case. So now the next question, please, how much do you think a neatly used can cost, and also the direct version? The direct version definitely will cost close to 3 million naira, a very clean one, or 2 point something. Neatly Nigerian used one, maybe 1 point something. I'm talking about non-abused clean ones. Yeah, maybe 1 point something, 2 point something. So it all depends. 207 is not as common as like the predecessor, which is Peugeot 206, which I can tell you, yes, there's more like an average or fixed price you can get them. So anybody going for 207, for now, I can't really say this is what is expected. You could find one that has been abused. Maybe the engine is weak, or maybe it's not abused, just that the engine is weak, and the owner wants to get rid of it. You're not getting it less than a million naira. You could find one that have been abused, but not that much, but the engine is okay. You can get it a million plus or something. You can find a very clean one that is, so even though it's Nigerian used, but the owner is the seller owner will insist on 2 million without giving a rip whether anybody is willing to buy or not. Something it's just like when I wanted to sell my Peugeot back then, how many years, a few years ago. I put a price tag on it, and people were pricing it come, but thinking that eventually I'll come down. At the point I was like, you think I'm desperate? I just said I'm done. I won't sell again. And it was the best choice decision I ever made in my life. And never will I ever sell that car again. So that's the thing. So some people, it depends. Some people put a price and you think who is going to buy at that price. Maybe he doesn't care. He probably may change his mind of selling the car tomorrow. So it's not like he's selling it because he's looking at the same value. So that's what applies to us, so Peugeot cars. Most people who are into Peugeot cars are actually enthusiasts. Let me just put it that way. If you see anybody who actually is into Peugeot, is pure enthusiast. He doesn't care what every other person is driving. So when it comes to selling the car, he probably may even use the car to become so old that he may even consider to dash it out. Selling it is not even, wasn't probably in the picture from the one. Or even if he decide to sell, he may put the price to his own value, which may be higher than the normal ones. And if anybody buys, he will leave it there. He doesn't care if it was, if it was. So that's the thing. So you have idea, just put a bag of mind, maybe between 1 million, 1.5 to 3 point something. That's Nigerian used to Tukumbo or something. Like I said, it's not like a common car you go, I can tell you, okay, this is what it is, the average price. I can't really say that because most of them you see advertised have been messed up. Yes, have been abused. Some have been converted from one engine to the other when they couldn't fix it or understand the situations. So you may think, oh, what am I saying? If you go online, you could see this, they are cheap, that cheap now, they are this price. No, clean ones are not easily available. And Nigerian use, yes, the clean Nigerian use was are not easily available. Honestly, I can tell, maybe I can count few that I've come across. Nigerian use ones that we actually recommend to a client and say, go ahead and buy. Majority of them don't even go there. So it's most times even better you buy a Tukumbo one. Okay, so I think I've answered all your questions. So like I said, for the automatic gearbox, I think is it not AL4? It's AL4. So it's 4 speed. The maintenance them cost more. The a liter, I don't even know how. I need about 20 kilometers to be changing it. So in terms of quality AT. sooner than most can last for you depending on how you use it. It doesn't have any, as long as you don't abuse it, you serve it just like every other Peugeot car. It's a step forward. I prefer it to 206. To be honest, I prefer Peugeot 207 to 206. In terms of the suspension, so many things, yeah. So it's a big improvement on 206. Some may have a different opinion on that, but I know, you know. So, like I say, it depends on what you want, how much you are willing to spend in maintenance. I've already mentioned the ones that are cheaper in terms of the engine, the fuel consumption, cost of maintenance. So you have idea. You can go for that 1.4. That in terms of person, someone who is looking for the one with cheap, the least cost of maintenance, fuel consumption, and in fact, the one with simpler system is this one, 1.4 liter. This is the one you buy and you hardly dance. It will serve you so long without spending much. And followed by this one, the TU5JP4, which is also 1.6, naturally aspirated. It's not turbocharged. You find it in 307 mostly. This one too will serve you well. But once you step up to this EP6 engine, like the turbocharged one and the non-turbocharged EP6 engine, no, you have to increase your cost of, or expect your cost of maintenance to be higher. The parts are not as cheap as the other ones. And like I said, a few issues they have, you may end up with one that issue have not been resolved. So you will be the one to deal with it. Or you step up and buy the last productions, the ones they produce last with this engine. In that case, those ones, their engines have been improved on, so they didn't suffer most of those issues the earlier ones suffer. Okay, so yeah, 206, 207 is a very good car. Yeah, if I were to buy one, I will get the sports version because I'm into performance. The one with this engine, that's it has like, I think it has like three engines into, or two THP engines there. Go for one with the highest power, which is either 160 something or 150. I forgot it, or 170 something. I can't remember. So that's what I'll go for, and I'll be willing to spend more on maintaining it. Considering as long as it's giving me that performance I want. The other ones are not meant for performance, but they're also okay. Average speed, average power, other ones. So I hope this video makes sense, and take your time. Like I said, if you're looking for resale value, it doesn't have. Let me put it that way. 207 doesn't have resale value for now. The predecessor has, but this one does not have. So, and if you are really if it's a how does it call it, a big deal, resale value matters so much for you, then in fact Peugeot will even work for you. You better even step out of the Peugeot brand completely, because they don't have resale value compared to some other brands. It may take you a while to even sell a Peugeot car. So it's not a car you put in the market immediately you find a buyer. So if you are buying Peugeot car, buy it to enjoy it. Whatever is get out of it when you want to resell it, fine. If you are buying to make then, so I hope I answer your question.